Welcome everybody, my name is Mr. Llama, and today I am bringing you yet another episode of Winning with Ease. This is going to be PvZ defending against a proxy hatch in your base. So this is actually a decently strong all-in because he will catch you off guard with the lings outside your base. So of course there's many variations of throwing the hatch up in your base, but the one that I'm going to go over is when you're going for a Nexus first. On Daybreak, whatever the map is, you're going Forge Fast Expand or Nexus Fast Expand, and then you get your Forge and your Gateway and all this stuff. And all of a sudden, your opponent is going for some Speedlings back home, and he's going to go ahead and use those as a way to try and sneak into your base. We'll get into it a little bit more as we do go through the whole process of it and everything. But right now, I'm just going to be scouting and planning for Nexus first at this time. So really quickly, we will have my new subscriber shout out: Killer9619, Osad Tichi, Sublime CS G/007, Jafir, Kuraz, NGOHOINEI. Sorry, you are a bucket, Chiwa, Draymond20, Admiral Machine, Sprite964, Practice Onslaughts, TMG, Adamer, TM, LH2U, and Ranzox. So thank you guys very much for subscribing. So here I do get into his base. We're going to go ahead and kind of check out the probe, right? So you just want to scout around, make sure he's going to go ahead and drop that pool first right here. I don't see anything, you know, and there's not going to be a hatch first. There's not going to be any 10 pool or 6 pool or anything like that. So right now we know, okay, we're totally safe. But here's the interesting thing. We do see a gas going down, right? So you won't always see this gas. This is just something that I can note right now in my head. I can say, oh, hey, maybe he's going to do some sort of one-base roach play. Maybe he's going to be going for just a Speedling expand, right? So it's not as common, but it still does happen sometimes. They'll simply just grab that 100 gas, pull off, and then they'll have Speedlings for the early game. And that used to be more popular in the earlier time, but now it's not so much. And so most people don't get that gas till later on. But it may not be extinct. So at this point, I'm kind of checking in. I want to make sure, double check that gas. And I have thrown down my Nexus back home as well, so I kind of want to make sure, oh, hey, maybe something's going on, whatever it is. So at this point, I see that he's not really sent a drone out for an expansion, right? I'm going to really want to go ahead and double check that. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and throw up a second pylon, continue to just make things, everything like this. And my probe's actually going to die, so probably would have been better to go ahead and run down and check that out, but from what I saw, he did not have a drone even heading down there to go ahead and take an expansion. So at this point, I'm a little bit worried because I'm a little bit confused, and I'm like, alright, I don't know exactly what's going on. I just know that he has made these lings and not even attempted to get a hatch down here, so maybe I should be a little bit careful. So at this point, I'm going to scout for a proxy hatch. I don't see a proxy hatch, so I'm going to go ahead and run home, or run over here to this probe, and then I can throw up a Cybernetic score. So here I want to really quickly pause because I missed the drone on both occurrences. We'll go ahead and go back, but there was a drone entering into my base, which is just a scouting drone, right? And so you're going to go ahead and see the drone come down here, and this is the thing to watch for. You always want to keep your eye on the scouting drone, right? Because if for some reason the scouting drone goes into your base and he is just going to go ahead and chill right there, you have to know that something's going on. Either one, he's making a hatch, or two, he's just sending it over here to scout with later, and you don't want him to be scouting later for free with that drone. So here I do scout a hatch, and the reaction that I make is I immediately grab these 6 probes. The reason I only grab 6 is because the hatch is under that 500 HP. If for some reason it was at like half health by now, I'd probably grab like 10 or 11 or 12, because simply you want to make sure that you kill off this hatch. You do not want this hatch going up. At the same time, I want to pause and really quickly note that there are a few things and a few reasons that I am making this decision to have my Zealot here right now. So a lot of people, what they do is they'd grab their Zealot, they'd bring him over here, and they would use the Zealot to attack the hatchery. That right there is going to be instant death for you, because what did we see back home? We saw Speedlings, and you have to think, why is there this gas? It's possible he's just trying to get roaches right here. So we didn't see Speedlings, sorry, we saw Lings. But we did see the gas right there. So he could either have roaches that he's trying to pop out here, and of course try and pop here, or he could be going for some sort of Speedlings, which as we see he does have Speedlings. And this was not, I mean, I told my opponent, do whatever it is that you want. Just make sure you do like a little proxy hatch thing, and this is all just reacting to this drone going here. But yeah, so you could have roaches, whatever it is. But in the event that he has speedlings, you want to make sure you have this wall. If for some reason you need to pull this zealot over here to kill this off, you know what, something else is going down, make sure that you block this off. Wall this in right here. You never want to have an open gap in your wall when your opponent has gas, when he has anything like this, any indication that, hey, he might be on one base and he might have a lot of link streaming, because we are going to go ahead and play it now and go ahead and run through. So here, I'm going to go ahead and just continue to make sure this dies off. As you can see, the 6 probes will be able to kill this before it does finish, or at least force a cancel at that point. And the other thing is, I am going to be boosting out another zealot right here because, hey, I want to kind of make sure. So he's not going to make it through right there. That's totally fine. I see all these links, and here is exactly why you want to have the zealot here instead of this wall. Because if for some reason he had gotten 20, 24, whatever amount of links it was, right there, he says, okay, you held, because he sees I'm going to hold it. But yeah, so for some reason that these 24 lings had streamed in, instantly your cannon surrounded, goes down, instantly he can suddenly move up, and then he has 20 lings versus zealot and a bunch of probes, and that is not a favorable thing for you. So there he even kind of does squeeze in a little bit, but he knows he's really not going to be able to do too much. I use probes to try and do some damage right there. He's going to pull over here, but I can just use my probes to attack, just be annoying, and there's really not too much that he can do at this point, because once again I make sure that I keep this right here and I keep this blocked off. So important to always have this blocked off, and so important to check for the drone. And really that is the easiest way to just go ahead and note or to go ahead and defend against any sort of proxy hatch, any sort of little one base speedling play, anything like that, because a lot of times they'll use this just simply as a decoy. So you want to have this hatch right here dead, but you don't want to invest everything with your zealots and stuff to where you're not walled off. And like I said, if you need the zealot, make sure you wall this in. You have another cannon up maybe, so that you can sit there and take out all of the lings or the roaches or whatever it is that he's going to be coming at you with. Yeah, so follow the drone, make sure that you keep walled, and you should have a lot of success against any sort of proxy hatch. And if for some reason you don't see the drone move into your base, it's not a bad idea to simply send up a probe up here to check for a proxy hatch anytime, like I did in this match before, just in case he snuck a probe in earlier for a proxy hatch. So that's going to be it for defending against this type of build. My name is Mr. Llama. I hope you guys learned something, and I'll see you guys in my next video.